Hello, third grade friends. This is Mrs. Smith. Today we are doing Unit 7, Lesson number 6. Now it begins with this page here. I feel like it's a little tricky to draw these fraction strips neatly, so I've emailed your parents, if you're in my class, this version of the sheet. If you are not in my class, you can pause the video here and try to draw the lines in the same space. Basically, you have a whole 2 even halves, 4/4, 8/8, 10/10, and then thirds, then sixths, and then 12ths. So I'm gonna take this sheet over here and I'm going to label it like I just described, and then we can cut these out and use them in our page. So 1 whole. Is that dark enough? I'll use a darker pen. 1 whole. This pen's not working either. Okay. And then 1/2. 1/2. You can tell because it's in 2 even pieces, right? And then we count these 1, 2, 3, 4. So the bottom is a 1/4, right? And each of them is 1 piece of that. The next one is 1/2 of a 1/4. You can see 2 of these equals 1/4. And let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 pieces. And then 1 for each, 1/8, making a total of 8/8. Here, it's 1/2 of an 1/8, so that is a 16th, right? Let's count them though, just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16. 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, 1/16, and 1/16. Then here we have 1, 2, 3. So they're each 1/3, 1/3. Each of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 pieces that equal a whole, so it's 1/6. And then each of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Each are 1/12. Okay, now let's go ahead and cut these out. So when I cut these out, I'm going to hold my paper carefully and go along this dotted line here. First, I'm going to cut off this border edge. And while I'm doing this, you should do this too. If you haven't already grabbed your scissors, I think I did forget to ask you to grab them. Go ahead, pause and grab them now and then start cutting. If you don't have any scissors right now, you can just follow along with me and my pieces, okay? All right, make sure, try to minimize the amount of scraps that you make so it's easy to clean up. So I'm gonna take scraps, put them in a neat little spot over there. Then I'm going to, before I cut this, you'll notice for all the things that have an even denominator or number on the bottom, the half line lines up with all of them. The thirds, that's not an even denominator, but even the 6ths and 12ths, because those are also even number, they also line up at the half line. And then other things like the fourths lines up with every 2/8 right there, like that. And then the 16th, it takes 4/16 to make 1/4, and 2/16 to make an 1/8, 2/6 to make a 1/3, and then 2/12 to make a 1/6, 4/12 to make a 1/3. When you're talking about like 2/6 equals 1/3, that's a way to say they're equivalent fractions or equal fractions, fractions of the same size in relation to the same sized whole. I'm going to go ahead and cut out each of these. What I'm probably going to do for now is I'm going to leave them as strips, but then we can, you know, compare them as these solid strips. I think that'll be fair, unless it's necessary in our book. Just because I don't want to lose half of my little strips. Okay, almost done. Hopefully your scissors are child scissors. You don't want to cut yourself. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my book. I have my strips here. I'm going to put them at the top of my work area, put my scissors away. Open up. We were on page 383. So it says two fractions are equivalent fractions, if they name the same part of a whole. So use your halves, fourths, and eighths strips to complete exercises 1 through 4. So I'm going to grab those. Here are my eighths. Here are my fourths. And here are my halves. If you compare your halves strip and your fourth strip, you can see that 2/4 are the same as 1/2. So let's take a look. Just like I was talking about, 2/4 right here is equal to 1/2, like that. Comes to the same portion. Complete these two equations. So how many fourths equals 1/2? 1, 2, 2. So that looks like right here, 2/4 equals 1/2. 2/4 equals 1/2. How many eighths are in 1/2? Let's line it up like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the lines line up again right here. So I'm going to say 4/8. Okay, 4/8 equals 1/2. 4/8. And if you think about it, 4 is half of 8. So if it's 8 little pieces, 4 is half of them, right? Makes sense. What two fractions are equivalent, or what are two fractions that are equivalent to 1/2? Well, we just talked about that. So 2/4 and 4/8. You might be wondering, are there more? Yes, there are, like probably infinitely many more. If you look at 6, it's going to be 3/6, right? If you look at 12ths, what's half of 12? 12 divided by 2. 2 times what is 12? 6, right? So it'll be 6/12 equals 1/2. If we had tenths, what's half of 10? 5. So 5/10 is equal to half. How many eighths are in 1/4? So again, look at our eighth strip. Look at our fourth strip. The edge of 1/4 is here, and it's how many eighths? It's 2. So 2/8 equals 1/4. There, like that. All right, let's go ahead and turn that page over to this side. Now we're looking at our thirds and sixths. How many sixths are in 1/3? Okay. We have our sixths right here. That. And our thirds right here. Line them up at the edge. 1/3 ends here. How many sixths? 2. complete these equations. So 2/6 is equal to 1/3. If you think about it, 2 is a third of 6 because you have to multiply 2 times 3 to get 6. How many 6 are in 2/3? Okay, now same strips. 2/3 comes out to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/6 equals 2/3. 4/6 equals 2/3. Okay, so those are also equivalent fractions because they're equal to each other in size. Puzzle Penguin, here we go. Dear math students, today my teacher asked me to name a fraction that is equivalent to 1/2. I wrote 2/6 is equal to 1/2. Is my answer correct? If not, please correct my work and tell me what I did wrong. So I'm going to look at my fraction strips to figure out this mistake. Where's my half mark? There it is. I am glad I didn't cut all these up, right? Okay, so if we line them up, 2/6 only comes to right here. And that's actually a third, right? But 3/6 lines up on that line. So we're going to say 2/6 is equal to 1/3. But 3/6 is equal to 1/2. And then give him a smiley face because he's trying his best. All right, my friends, let me know if you have any questions if you're in my class or ask your own teacher. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.